guys, it's Jessii Vee. So I wasn't really planning on making this video, but then two incidents happened in the past like week or so that I just had to sit down and talk about. It's almost more of a rant video, but still definitely a story time. Two story times. One of the things happened to me and the other thing I was there for, like I witnessed it right there, but it wasn't happening to me specifically. But they both are on the subject of anger. People's anger. And I need to talk about it and I need to rant about it, but before I do this, while you're watching this, I am probably most likely going to be at the airport because I'm filming this the day before I leave for North Carolina, so when you guys see it, I'm gonna be on the plane to North Carolina. I'm so excited, and that means that we are only a few days away from the meet and greet. So basically, Saturday and Sunday is when the meet and greets are happening, so if you haven't gotten your tickets yet, definitely get them. They're down below in the description. You still have time, but yeah, while you're watching this, I'm almost gonna be in North Carolina. I'm going to be showing two never before seen videos. There's gonna be swag bags, there's gonna be a tea with me where we sit down for 2 hours and have tea and talk and tell stories and hang out. There's a lot of things going on there. So if you live in North Carolina or any of the states around there, definitely try and meet me. I really want to meet you as well. I want to hug you and see you, and it's gonna be great. Also, I have a really dark vibe going on right now. I don't know why. I haven't worn dark eyeshadow and like dark clothing in a while. For some reason, my eyeshadow said it was green, but it kind of looks black. I don't see any green, do you? I think it's lying to us. And this is also a dark green sweater, but you guys can see that. Whoa. My tummy just showed. But yeah, I don't know, maybe because it's a rant video, I want it to be like darker, angrier. I'm not angry though. The people in this video are angry though. Okay, so let's start with the thing that happened to me, seeing as that is the title of this video. That is basically why you clicked on it, right? And it sucks because I feel like you guys listening to this story, you're gonna hear it and be like,
oh, that's not that bad. Why are you being dramatic?
But it's like once you're in the moment and it's happening to you, it means so much more. It impacts you so much more. Like, have you ever told a story to someone and you're so like hyped and angry and emotional and they look at you like,
calm down, like it's not a big deal.
That is like the worst thing someone can say to you. Calm down? Don't tell me to calm down. Whenever I was a kid and I was having like a temper tantrum and my mom told me to calm down, it made me scream louder. So basically what happened was I was driving home very late at night. I was spending the evening at my parents' house and I live like half an hour away from my parents. So I usually try to get home before sunset, but sometimes you just talk and talk and talk and you're having a great time that you can't leave until like 11 p.m., almost midnight. And driving in the dark is not a big deal for some people, but for me, and I've said this a million times before, you guys already know I have Lyme disease, I've talked about it so many times, but my Lyme disease has made my eyesight so bad, I have literally zero night vision. Okay, not zero, because then I wouldn't be allowed to drive, but my night vision is really, really bad. So like, I rely on the headlights of my car and the street lights because if they weren't there, I couldn't see at all. My eye's just been destroyed by Lyme disease. It's been a really fun time. So usually whenever I'm driving home alone at night really late, my anxiety is like through the roof because I'm really concentrating, I'm worried, I just want to get home safely, you know what I mean? I'm super concentrated. So I make it like 15 minutes, I'm like halfway to my house, and there's this part where I have to go down a 1-lane road for about, I would say 13 minutes or so. And on this 1-lane road, there's no like passing. It's like a one line. If you guys have been to driving school, you can pass on a dotted line, you can't pass on a one line, okay? Welcome to driving school. So basically, I'm driving down this road and like, I am a pretty fast driver. I don't want to like get myself in trouble or anything. I'm not like a speeder over the limit. I don't like go crazy where I'd put anyone in danger, but I do drive slightly over the speed limit, you know what I mean? Let's say the speed limit was 80 kilometers an hour. I was going like 90. I feel like that's a happy medium. Whoa. A huge snowstorm just appeared. That just came out of nowhere, wow. So I'm driving down this road, minding my own business, everything's fine, I'm just concentrating, almost home, and all of a sudden I see these bright headlights behind me, and this huge, big black truck just zooms up right to the tail of my car. And this guy is driving so close behind me that the beams of his car are lighting up the entire inside of my car. Like, I can see every detail of my car at midnight. Like, he was driving so close to me that I felt like if I even slightly pressed on the brakes, he would just go right into my car. And it looks so silly because it's this huge road. It's a huge 1-lane road and there's no one else behind him, no one else in front of me. So we're like driving like this all the way down the road. And this just makes my anxiety even worse because here I am trying to concentrate in the dark on the road and now I have this goofus on my butt. Goofus? I don't think I've ever used that word before, goofus. So he starts doing that thing where he's flashing his headlights to get me to move and I'm thinking, I'm already already going over the speed limit. There's no other lane for me to move into. What the heck do you want me to do, dude? So I'm like raising my hand up in my car trying to get him to see that there's nothing I can do. I'm like, what do you want me to do, guy? Like, what do you want me to do? I can't go anywhere. So he's like flashing at me. He starts beeping his horn and I'm thinking, there's literally nowhere for me to go. Like if he wanted to pass me that badly, he literally could have. You know what I mean? There was no one else on the road. If you're gonna already be breaking the law by being on my bumper, you might as well just pass me. So I'm like starting to breathe really fast. I'm kind of having a panic attack in my car because like we're in the middle of the country. Like we're not even near any houses, cities. Like this guy could like destroy me. I just at this point cannot wait to get to my house. So I'm driving, he's still flashing behind me, he's like right on my butt, and all of a sudden he gets super angry and finally decides to pass me, but he doesn't pass me on the roadside. He literally takes the dirt, almost in the ditch, goes around my car, and as he gets right beside my car, I'm alone in the middle of the country with this guy, he rolls down his window, like right beside, now we're driving right beside each other, and he's in the dirt on the side of the road. He rolls down his window and starts shouting horrible things at me. Even though my window's closed, I can hear every single thing. Horrible things that I can't even mention on this channel. I don't even want to mention in real life ever again. And he's screaming at me and like shouting his hands at me. Shouting his hands at me. Can you tell I'm tired? Throwing his hands at me. Like his mirror of his car is so close to mine that I'm literally almost sure he probably scratched it. So he finally drives around to the front of me, cuts me off really fast. I slam on my brakes, and then he sticks his hand out of his window as he drives way far ahead of me with his middle finger out, and this guy made me so mad. I know you're like,
Jessii, we hear road rage stories all the time. This is so normal. This happens to everybody. Oh my gosh, you're such a baby. Why are you crying?
I know, but this doesn't really happen to me ever. This is the first time someone has been so angry. And it's like 11 p.m. Like, where are you going? Huh? Where are you going? And then way far ahead, I see him turn into a neighborhood and park into his driveway. And I'm like, oh, were you late for the Teletubby marathon? Like, why did he have to get home in such a rush? And I know I'm making this story all funny and like yada yada, but I literally had to pull over and cry. Like that's how much he scared me, intimidated me. I thought he was gonna push me off the road. It was actually a really scary experience. And that's why this is sort of a rant, because I literally will never be able to understand and get myself into the mindset of someone who is that angry. It's not like I was driving under the speed limit. I wasn't even driving at the speed limit. I was going over. In fact, I was speeding up to accommodate how fast he wanted me to drive. Like it was so messed up. Also, someone is doing work outside my house. Can you hear? Yeah. It's not even like it was rush hour, it was nighttime, and it makes me feel sorry for people. Like, what can make you that? What can put you in that much rage? It's just bizarre to me, and like I don't see that rage very often, so I think it just really freaked me out and stunned me. And then I think it was 2 days ago, I saw another man show complete rage in the liquor store, which is my second mini story time. Basically, my Nan and Poppy were coming over, and when people come over, we like to have like some wine available, just some drinks that people can help themselves to or whatever. We like to be good hosts. So Ty and I decided to quickly go to the liquor store and get a bottle of white wine and a bottle of red wine. And as we're browsing, we see, I like to people watch. I don't know if that sounds creepy or not, but I do like to people watch. I'm always very observant of what's around me. And I noticed that there was this father, and he looked like a pretty young dad, like, I don't know, late 30s, maybe early 40s. And he was walking around the store with his daughter, who was clearly way underage. Like, if I had to guess, she was probably like 15. And he's walking around and she's like pointing at bottles that she wants, and he's putting it into his cart, and like they're going around through every aisle, and she's like,
I want that one, I want that one.
And he's like putting it into his cart for her. And then right as he's walking up to the cash, she's like,
okay, go into the car so no one sees you. Go into the car.
and the girl like goes outside into the parking lot and gets into the car. So he walks up to the cashier, and the cashier is like, listen dude, I saw what you were doing. You're clearly buying alcohol for someone who's underage. She was walking around picking what she wanted, and you only told her to go into the car because she didn't have a legal like ID for buying alcohol. And the guy was like,
How dare you accuse me of that? I would never get alcohol for someone underage. That is my daughter. She is 25.
and like she didn't even look even close to that. So the cashier was like, okay, well, can you have her come back in and just show her ID? And the father was like,
No, she's already in the car. She's already left. She's in the car.
so the cashier was like, okay, well then I can't serve you. And the guy like throws down his stuff on the counter and starts like raging, like full out Hulk raging. Like this guy was probably 37 years old. There's no way he could have a 25-year-old daughter. He It literally doesn't make any sense. And the cashier was saying that. He's like, well, sir, can I see your ID then? And the guy's like,
Well, I don't have to show my ID. I'm in my late 30s.
like, he was just not cooperating at all. He was caught. He was clearly doing something he wasn't supposed to do. Like, why would you actually bring in your daughter and have her pick out things in front of the people who work there? Are you dumb? So he starts like throwing the bottles on the counter and like screaming and how dare you and up in the guy's face and like full out rage. So here I am seeing like these things happen, like the truck driver and then this guy happening all in one week, and it's like, what is wrong with the world? Why are people so angry and rude? I could never picture myself getting that mad at someone for something that's my fault. I could never rage drive behind someone and then swear at them and like pull a full, it doesn't make any sense to me. So I just wanted to like sit down and get all of this out. I was gonna make a Snapchat story or an Instagram story, but like the story would be like so drawn out and long, so I just had to sit down here. And they're not like long stories or really anything that significant, but you guys know when I'm passionate and when I'm just confused and angry, this is where I go right here. This is my seat for my angry stories. Anyways, so guys, that is my little rant for today of not understanding why people are so cruel and why can't everyone just be friendly and nice. Doesn't make any sense. But yeah, I'm gonna get going now, and for those of you who are coming to my meet and greet in North Carolina, I literally cannot wait to meet you, and it's just, I'm so excited. But I hope all of you have an amazing rest of your day, and I will see you in my next video. Bye!